Hey everyone, and welcome to a new book showcase. You can already see the book right there, but first of all, the previous video was a sort of like joke promo and all that stuff. I just thought it would be fun, but this is the actual book showcase, and it's going to be a short one because I actually don't have a lot to say. And also, this is kind of ridiculous, but the book is glossy, and I don't want my face to be shown, so I'm going to try to be careful. It's not like the Fight Fred's books, where the cover is very colorful and all that stuff, so I can do like a proper showcase without showing my face. This one is a bit of different. Here is the entire collection, or my collection at least. Those are old editions, yes, but it's whatever. And there are 9 books, with the newest one being, well, this video's topic. Here is Beyond Book 1, The Price to Pay. You know what, I'm actually going to move. Okay, this is actually better. This is my bed, and this is where I did record the short showcase. So yeah, because my bookshelf is all the way over there, so it's kind of messy, and oh well, you don't care. This is the book. Here it is. And I'm so happy with how this turned out. Here is a close look at the cover art, which is beautifully drawn by Margot Gamer. If you're in the Fat Facebook community, you might know him. He did a fan of all that stuff, and I highly recommend that you check him out. He also draws some very great digital circus promos and all that stuff. Well, fan art, sorry, not promos. You just check him out, please. He's really good, and he did an absolute fantastic job with this. I did conceptualize this cover with the scenery and the idea to play with shadows and lighting, but he completely blew my expectation of the water. It's so good, and I think it's very well balanced. Originally, the Maxine Glade, because this is Maxine, she was a bit closer to this side, and there wasn't a moon, and it looked kind of bland, like there was this whole section that had nothing. I'm very happy with the final result. I think it's very well balanced with the moon and how the red basically takes half of the cover, but in an angle. So this half is red and this half is blue, and this is just really cool. Here's a very close look at Maxine, and this is my favorite version of Maxine by far. I think this is easy the best design. You don't see it very well in the cover because she's covered in shadows and in the red lighting, but trust me, it is an absolute banger design. I really hope one day I can get like a great sort of promotional artwork of just this character, like a sort of character art similarly to how the cover art for Tailia Book 4 Smart Crazy Girl is often used as the main artwork for the series and the franchise as a whole. Well, actually, I can show you this exact thing if we look at the ads. There we go. It's used as the main artwork, but like an updated one with this design of Maxine would be really cool, but this is not currently planned. Here's the ad, by the way. This is the same one from Fight for Rides. It's just very easy to do. And speaking of Fight for Rides, real quick, this is the very first official Fight for Rides ad, not in the Fight for Rides book, because this one had the teaser for this one because the cover was already done. So yeah, if you want to read it, you can check them out. The book and Modesty Shaw releases in January 2024, and it's actually almost done being written, and it's easily my favorite. Here is the back cover of the new Beyond Tailia series. But what is Beyond Tailia? Beyond Tailia is a bit of a special series because it's the ending of Maxine and Audrey's story. So for 3 series, or cycles if you prefer to call them, we follow the main characters of Maxine Glade, formerly known as Tailia Glade, and Audrey West, who is her girlfriend. This series is the conclusion to their story, but it's not the conclusion to the Tailia franchise. Again, what I want to do is kind of give it a satisfactory end for this part of the universe. I still want to write Tailia books, I still want to expand the universe because I absolutely love it, and I feel like it has a lot of potential. And I cannot really tell you much about what's going on behind the scenes because, obviously, I cannot tell you much. We just started. This is the first book of the 3rd series. But there will be more, and I'm very excited. But I think the ending I have for these 2 characters and this storyline as a whole is just I'm very happy with it. You might have noticed when I showed Margot's beautiful profile picture earlier in the video, this little rectangle saying not suitable for younger readers. This is new. The only other book that has this little square is Fight Fight's book 5, The Broken Mind of Darcy Shaw, which releases in January. So this is the first book, I don't know what I'm saying. This book is not for everyone, and I am being explicitly clear about this. It is not for everyone. There's a lot going on in terms of the themes and some of the scenes that might be a bit too shocking for some readers. So this is why I put this little box, you know. For the original series and the Game Master series, there were some elements and themes that, yes, they go pretty far. They pushed a bit of the limits of, you know, what a teen can read. Because if you want my opinion, these are books that can be read by teens, but are mostly young adult. This is straight up young adult, and even then, it goes far. It goes a bit far with some of the scenes and all that stuff. You can guess that yes, this book is a bit violent, because violence is not a new thing in the Tailia franchise. Notably, Smart Crazy Girl and A Good Heart are two of the biggest examples. Butterfly Effect might also be one with the whole Audrey plotline, which I'm not going to talk about, but just know that the violence is always justified. It's not like fan service, just having violence that being over the top for the sake of having violence being over the top. No. What I really like is that with these books, what I want to do is to make every scene worth reading. I want every scene to have an impact and not just being, you know, kind of like unnecessary. There are some scenes that are just kind of fun, but they serve as nice breathers between the hard moments of the story. The violence and the other themes in this book are tough, but they make for a much more enjoyable experience and just for a much more interesting read. Because what I aim with this book is to make the reader think and really just take everything in once they're done with the book and just say, is Maxine right or wrong? Is what's happening good or bad? You know, it's a conflicting read, but in the best way possible. Here is a description, and as you can see, yes, ruthless, relentless. You can kind of imagine again why there's this little box. I'm not going to read the description because I don't want to, but you can pause the video. And again, yes, this is a science fiction and LGBT series, and I'm actually not going to say how many books there are going to be for this series, even though it's actually pretty easy to guess. But I will say that everything is planned out. I've said it for months now, but all of the scenes are planned out. I know everything. In this book, in the second one, and whatever comes next. Everything is detailed. The file that has all of these scenes is so big that it's bigger than the Fight Fight's book. That's how insane and ambitious this series is. So, you know, it's exciting. Here is the first page, which is the Beyond Tailia logo. The Beyond logo is, by the way, drawn by Mr. 340, who did the covers for the first 3 books and for Fight Fight's books 1 and 3. And here is a bit of the interior. I'm not going to show much because obviously spoilers. Go buy the book to read it. And this is also something interesting I want to talk about. This is the 3rd series, and this is again the conclusion to Maxine and Audrey's storyline. Yes. Can you read the series without having read the previous ones? I'm going to say that you can, but it will be a lot more satisfying if you've read all 7 books prior to this one. There are a lot of callbacks and there are a lot of connections to these events. The trauma and the memories that these characters keep getting reminded of, they happen in those books. So it will be just a lot more satisfying if you read these 2 series and then Beyond Tailia. But if you want to read Beyond Tailia just first, you absolutely can. Most of it is recapped. And what's interesting is that this series is actually like a lot more simpler. The Game Master series was very ambitious. There was a lot going on, a lot of concepts, all that stuff. But this one is actually a little bit more toned down. It's still very sci-fi, especially in book 2. But it's a lot more personal. You know, I wanted to tell a very personal story. For the first series, they talked about a lot of things and a lot of characters and scenarios. For the second series, Maxine and Audrey were basically thrown into an already conflicting scenario and they had to fix the problem and all that stuff. This series is Maxine and Audrey's story. They are the main focus, along with obviously the new antagonist, which I'm not going to talk about at all. So this is a much more personal book, which means that it's not as complicated or as ambitious as the previous series. And it's the most violent, so you know, that makes sense. But what I want to say is that some of the concepts from the previous two series, such as the exos, for example, they are not important in this book, but they still get their conclusion. By that point in the story, Maxine's exos, for example, which are these little things, they don't matter. So she does get rid of them, but they do serve as a nice conclusion to this concept and this element of her character that was a thing for the first two series. Yeah, for the first two series. Stuff like that, which makes this, again, a book that can be read by anyone, technically speaking, if you're not a younger reader, but it will be much more satisfying if you read the previous two. Let's wrap things up. So here is the spine, and yes, it's misaligned. Is it my fault? No, it's Amazon who just messed up my copy. And even though it's messed up, I still think this is easily the most beautiful, prettiest, most adorable, the absolute best book I own out of all of them. And it's misaligned. But don't worry, if you order your copy, it shouldn't be a problem. The camera won't focus. When is book 2 coming out? I'm going to keep that secret. And is the title at the end of the book? Yes. Here is a quick tease. This is all you're getting. Zoom in as much as you want. I'm not opening it further. So yeah, you can check out Beyond Tailia Book 1, the price to pay right now on Amazon for $9.99. You can check out the previous videos I did. So there's the trailer, the launch video, which did surprisingly well compared to the other videos about Tailia, and the weird joke video I did. If you want updates, check out my Twitter. I have a Discord server. If you want to review the book, you can review it on Amazon and also Goodreads, because apparently I have that. And obviously, stay tuned for more news about Beyond Tailia and Fight for Our Eyes as well, and anything that's going to come after, because 2024 is going to be insane. And yes, this is the last book that will be released this year. I've released 7 books. I should probably take a break at some point, but it doesn't matter. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.